Hi Vogue, it's Hailey, and I'm gonna be showing you guys my everyday morning routine and go-to look. So in terms of my skincare, I like to keep it super simple in the daytime. I feel like nighttime is more so where I'm slathered and lathered and glazed and baking so that I can wake up in the morning and not have to do much. I don't usually wash my face in the morning. I will get up, I'll rinse it with water. I will use a tongue scraper, brush my teeth, oil pulling. That's kind of like my morning ritual that I do. So what I'd like to start with every day is a good facial spray. And sometimes when I'm really busy in the morning, running out the door, rushing out, up with my son, I will literally just spray my face and I'll walk out the door. And the next step is our Rhode glazing milk. I love the glazing milk. I've talked about it a million times. I couldn't say enough things about it. I use it in the morning, at night, as makeup prep. I use it mixed with my foundation to kind of sheer out the foundation and give your skin this really beautiful, luminous second skin kind of a look. It's just such a staple for me and I really could not live without it. I found that since becoming a mom, I'm gravitating towards things and looking for more things that make my routine a lot easier and a lot simpler. And now, sunscreen. I love sunscreen that's really hydrating, that's gonna also make your skin glowy. I typically gravitate towards like milkier sunscreens or like a really nice tinted sunscreen. I feel like finding the right sunscreen just takes trial and error because one of the things that breaks me out the most is sunscreen. Whenever I go to Paris or I go to Europe, I love to go to the pharmacy and like raid the sun care section because I just think the sunscreens from Europe are so much better than in the US. They're my favorite. And this one I got at the pharmacy when I was in Paris the last time, and I'm obsessed with it, and I wish that I bought 5. When I have leftover, I rub it on my hands because when you're driving and it's sunny, I just feel like your hands get the brunt of aging. I'm not somebody who really likes to wear makeup a lot in the daytime. I keep things very simple. So usually just do the tiniest bit of concealer in just a couple areas for brightening. I'm using a brush right now, but a lot of the time when I'm just home, I literally just take my finger and I just spread it out and rub it in like that. I have yet to find something that I think is a better applicator for makeup than your finger. I'm not trying to get too scientific with it, but I do think it has something to do with like the skin to skin contact. I just think it gives a more effortless look. I don't like to use foundation during the day because I really like the feeling of my skin being able to breathe. And I also find that sometimes foundation feels a lot heavier and a lot thicker than concealer does. Concealer to me feels a lot lighter on the skin. I'm somebody who is very skincare obsessed. I put a lot of effort into my skin and keeping my skin in good health and keeping my body in good health. So I feel like I want to not cover it up too much. It's also like sometimes it's just easier to control on the skin. Something I've been doing a lot lately too that I really like is taking an eye brightener. This is like a pink eye brightener. I just put a little bit in the corner here and randomly here. And I just feel like it gives a luminosity to the skin and to the face. Usually you're supposed to put eye brightener and like color correctors under your concealer, but I've been liking it over. Well, I think that it's meant to be for correcting any like discoloration or dark under eyes or any, redness, red marks, anything like that. So I think when you think about it that way, putting the color correction on first will neutralize it, and then you put the concealer over top to really seal it all in. I'm just kind of reversing that because I think what I like about the eye brighteners is the brightening effect. So I want to see that over top. So there's that. Sometimes I'll just take the teeniest bit of powder just to kind of like lock it in right here. This barely has any powder on it anyway because it's just left over on the brush. I don't actually have any. Okay. Little bit of eyebrow gel. Blush. The way that I apply it is I either like to put it on my finger and tap it in, or put it directly to the skin, or I will sometimes take a brush and tap it and do it with a brush. It really just depends on what I'm feeling. And sometimes if I'm doing more of a makeup look, I'll use a brush because I have a little bit more control. But when I'm doing something way more minimal like I am right now, I prefer to use direct to the skin and use my finger to blend it in. I feel like picking the right blush colors for you is also the same that I said about finding the right sunscreen for you. I think it's about trial and error. I think that everybody has different undertones to their skin. Everybody has different colors that they gravitate towards and that they don't, what they like, what they don't like. I'm somebody who likes pinkier, but like more neutral, like a beigey pink kind of a blush, or like a baby pink kind of a blush. It also just like depends what I'm feeling at the time and depends on my mood. So you never know. Okay, next thing is freckles. Sometimes when I'm running out to the gym, I will just do a little bit of face mist and I'll brush up my eyebrows and just put freckles on because I like the enhancement that the freckles bring. I feel like enhancing your freckles gives like a youthfulness to your skin that I think is really cute. Whether you have natural freckles to enhance or not, it doesn't really matter. I think if you're into it and you like the way it looks, you can totally just create your own. I think that's pretty much what they were made for in the first place. I had makeup artists that were enhancing my real freckles, and then I started seeing my freckles multiplying from being in the sun and being outside. And I realized the more I would see makeup artists enhancing my freckles, the more I liked it and wanted to incorporate it on a day-to-day basis. Last but not least, lip. These are our lip contours. And the reason that I made these was exactly for what we're discussing in this video. A really natural, just enhancing the natural lip, giving a little bit more fullness and volume to the lip. All of the things I make at Rhode are these really hybrid products where it's like skincare and makeup combined. And with the lip contour, it really is infused with great skincare, and I wanted it to be that way because I wanted it to be super, super natural. I feel like it just gives the most natural, subtle look to the lips, but you can still see there's a little something there. I also use these in every single one of my lip combos. This is always the thing that I start with. Just clean it up a little bit. I don't use mascara during the day. It really started because I just kept forgetting to use it in my makeup routine. But then I started realizing how much more I liked the way my makeup looked without mascara. And what I will do a lot though is I will curl my lashes just to give them a little bit more of a lift, but I'm not the biggest mascara girl. So the last thing I'm gonna do after I applied that little bit of makeup is I'm gonna go back in with the face mist just to give a little more rehydration on my skin. And it brings back a really nice glow to the skin. I love this mist also for if I've been in makeup for like hours, but I don't wanna take it off and I wanna refresh it and I wanna bring hydration back to my skin, I will use this mist and it'll just be the perfect thing to kind of give life back to the makeup. So with this look, I'm off to just run around town, go out of the house, grab a coffee, whatever it may be, run to the office. This is just my typical everyday go-to for life, I guess. Thank you, Vogue, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon.